Okay, so this idea is in the books, but it's really in the movies. Peter Jackson really saw the potential here, and he brought it out beautifully. Okay, so end of Fellowship, the actual Fellowship fails, and then Peter Jackson gives us a scene which always seemed really odd to me.
You mean not to follow them?
Frodo's fate is no longer in our hands.
Then it has all been in vain. The Fellowship has failed.
Not if we hold true to each other. We will not abandon Merry and Pippin to torment and death.
I remember little baby teenage Schnee watching this and being confused. How is the Fellowship really continuing just by going after Merry and Pippin? Isn't the Fellowship about this moment? I will take the ring to Mordor, and you have my sword, you have my bow and my axe. Then my sword again, but Aragorn already said sword, so then Boromir has to be different and say something cooler, except it's not really cooler. My sword is obviously cooler. That's why Legolas and Gimli copied it. Anyway, yeah, so that's what the Fellowship is, isn't it? It's about doing what Gimli could never do. But seriously, the idea here is that Frodo is this little hobbit who doesn't know his way around, and if he tries to go on his own, he's going to fall down and get lost. So he needs people to help him. And then Frodo leaves because the Fellowship won't work. They're not going to be able to help. That's just the nature of the ring. We saw it with Boromir. It's just not going to work. It was a bad idea. They should have just sent the ring with Frodo and maybe Gandalf and Sam, and that's it, right? And then they could have just named the book something else. Which maybe should have happened anyway, because why name the book after something that failed? Except it really didn't, according to Aragorn. So why? Let's go back to that moment in the story. Why is Aragorn saying the Fellowship did not fail? So what's happening at this point? So they're going after these two guys who probably shouldn't have been the Fellowship in the first place. And then what else? We have Sam going after Frodo against Frodo's wishes. Why? Why is he going after Frodo?
I made a promise, Mr. Frodo. A promise. Don't you leave him, Samwise Gamgee. And I don't mean to. I don't mean to.
And then what does the post-Fellowship look like for the next two movies? What are these guys up to after this? So we have Legolas and Gimli, they have their friendship arc. That's not something that we see in Fellowship. That's only in the Two Towers and Return of the King. Aragorn and Gandalf are helping Rohan, and then later on they're getting Rohan and Gondor back together. You got Merry and Pippin getting the trees involved. And then you have Frodo and Sam who have their whole friendship arc. They move apart and then they come back together again, etc. and then repeat. So we don't know what this means exactly at this point, but what Aragorn is saying is that the Fellowship was never about just destroying the ring. It was about the peoples of Middle-earth coming together. It was about fellowship for its own sake. The actual ring part where everyone was separate and disagreeing with each other and trying to figure out what to do, the ring part had to die in order for them to realize that fellowship itself was the real value. Sam did not come back to Frodo to help him destroy the ring. He came back because he made a promise. He had a responsibility to his fellow hobbit. And he doesn't care if Frodo's going to Mordor alone, he doesn't care about the ring, he cares about being there for Frodo. And what did defeat Sauron before? It wasn't King Elendil, it wasn't King Gil-galad, they died. It wasn't Asor, that died too. It was the last alliance between elves and men. A hobbit was never going to destroy the ring on his own. The Fellowship was never going to destroy the ring on their own. They were forced to be reckoned with, sure, but not strong enough. The Fellowship members had to turn into a force for fellowship in the world as a whole. The only thing that could take down Sauron was both kingdoms of men teaming up. It was elves and dwarves teaming up together. It was ghosts and non-ghosts teaming up. It was elves teaming up with men in the movies, taking out the subordinates, creating a diversion, keeping the eye busy. Also that their fellows, the hobbits, could do their hobbit thing and destroy the ring. It was not possible without all of this. It was a world effort. And that could not happen if these guys stuck with Frodo. The Fellowship had to fail in order for the real Fellowship to emerge. It's getting a little dark, unfortunately, but we are here in Imladris. Welcome to Rivendell. Here's the gate to Rivendell that we see here in this scene. Actually, it's not the actual gate. The actual gate is gone, but this is a remake of it. But still pretty cool. It's only 45 minutes outside of Wellington. Anyway, that's the idea. I really like it. It really changed the whole way the story is framed for me. Hope you enjoyed our little trip to Rivendell, and thanks for watching.